Hey, I'm back, the AVP Wargamer, with another video. Today I'm going to talk about how Games Workshop keeps raising our prices on all the models we love, and why you should probably downgrade from one edition to an older edition. We're going to talk about that today, and I'm going to show off my print of the day, some 3D printing with Papsikles miniatures. Okay, everybody, welcome back. This is Jason, the AVP Wargamer, and yep, it's that time of year. No, it's not Christmas. No, it's not the holidays. It's inflation time. That's right, Games Workshop has inflated their prices unnecessarily yet again, as they always do every year. Now, it appears that Games Workshop is following the money all the way to bankruptcy eventually, because, eventually this bubble is going to pop and they're going to lose a lot more customers than they already have. Now, I've been an avid collector of Games Workshop for many years, and it's taken me decades to make a decent Tyranid army. And of course, I collect other stuff too, so it's not like all my money isn't only going to Games Workshop. I do spend it on a lot of other crap. So, I do see, the flawed logic there is, if, I really cared about my Tyranid army, I would only buy Games Workshop and only spend my money with them. But, they don't deserve my business that much because, well, honestly, I don't really like some of the things their company's doing. Now, as far as the artists are concerned, I love the art, I love the lore, those people are good by me. It's the corporate types that don't have a creative bone in their body and just run the company to make pure profit. Now, of course, that's their job, is to make pure profit. It's a business model. You got to keep the lights on. You got to make your shareholders happy. However, shareholders need to understand that it's okay to lose money every once in a while. And I don't even mean lose money. I mean make less money one year than you did the next. I think people keep, and especially in the shareholder world, they're chasing that high of always increasing their profits every single year. And, who doesn't like to increase their profits every single year? Like, I would like that. But, if you're investing in a company that sells toys to adult children, it's okay, I think, to make a little less one year than the next. But, Games Workshop has had record profits year after year after year, even though things like Warhammer Plus are losing them money. And I think also their political leanings are starting to lose them a lot of customers as well. And if they keep this up and don't keep with the times, they will lose a lot more of their customers. Now, are they in trouble of going away anytime soon? No. Their lore is very solid. They are one of the most creative companies with all the artists that they do employ, and I don't see them going away anytime soon. And in fact, a controversial opinion is that this hobby wouldn't be the hobby it is without them. And when it comes to miniature wargaming, they are the king of the castle for now. However, we have seen with the rise of 3D printing that eventually, if we can't keep up with Games Workshop, they're going to have to keep up with us because, well, the 3D printing is a lot cheaper than the crap that they're selling, and it's pretty high quality. Now, I'm going to show you a couple things. Now, can you tell me, just by looking at this, was this a model that Games Workshop sold me? Nope, this one was 3D printed. I got this model on Thingiverse for free, and I printed it up. It probably cost me about, $3, $4, $5, instead of their $70 price tag on this model. Now, $70 is a lot for a miniature. It may be kind of average for model kits, though, as if you're like into like model airplane kits and specialty kits like that. Sure, there's some that are really cheap, but about 50, 60 bucks is kind of what we're looking at nowadays. Now, they are really raising their prices yet again, but you can see this is 3D printed too. I mean, the quality is still there. And, this guy, again, cost me like maybe $5 in resin to print. And, now I can afford all the miniatures that I want. Now, here's another Titan. Now, Forge World sells a Titan similar to this for the Tyranids at around $500 for some resin. This cost me, drum roll please, about $25 in resin. So for 25 bucks, heck yeah, I'm going to print my own miniatures. You know, I'm not paying $500 for a model that I could get elsewhere for 25 bucks. It's just not going to happen. And you know, if you're worried about copying them too closely, then get some other figures from other companies. Like this is a great proxy for a Carnifex. It's an alien from another company. You know, just 3D print it, and I can print these all day. These are, you know, about $4 or $5 to print one of these guys out. You know, comparing to like $60 for a Carnifex model kit. And yes, it's not, you know, exactly from the books, but I think it looks cool enough to put on the tabletop. And when it comes, at the end of the day, I'm just playing this with some friends. I'm not a competitive gamer. I used to be a part of a league before the pandemic hit, and it was amazing. I got to really learn the rules. And if you're a competitive gamer, great. But you know what? You don't have to go to the Games Workshop store to play, because they don't even want people playing in their stores. They just want to demo games and sell them there. You know, if you want to go to a tournament, you know, there's a lot of tournaments that don't really care if you use 3D printed models. Or, you know, they might not even be able to tell if they're 3D printed, you know. So who cares? I think that Games Workshop has done this to themselves, and they really need to figure out how to get back their lower paying customers, because, you know, there's two ways you can go with business. You can go super high price and high quality and only have a very few select customers, which, you know, are the whales of the industry, the people that make so much money they don't know what to do with it, and they can buy all this crap for so high, you know. And or you do something like Walmart does, which is sell everything for dirt cheap and get twice as many customers. You're going to make around the same, but it's either have an elite few customers or a ton of customers. Now, obviously, I want a ton of customers. I want people to play this game. I want this to be super popular hobby, because then that means I have more friends to play with. But right now, Games Workshop and a lot of these gaming companies, including Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro, they hired all these stupid executives for video game companies to run these tabletop companies, and they don't get it. They do not understand that you can do patches and updates for video games, and it doesn't work the same for tabletop. People don't play that way. And tabletop, you're meeting with your friends. It can take decades to make your collection complete when it comes to miniatures and figurines and board games. And, you know, people cannot keep up with this subscription model. It's unsustainable. You know, I have enough subscriptions as it is that I need to cancel. You know, I can't be supporting all these people monthly, you know, when buying all this crazy stuff from them. Now, as far as like subscriptions, if you want to get really good bang for your buck, I like to support the 3D artists on myminifactory.com. You can get a lot of free stuff on cults3d.com. I like supporting the 3D miniature industry directly to the artists, and I think that business model is pretty good, because those artists, they're creating these digital files, which once they've created the file, all the work is done, and they can sell it for dirt cheap. And then, you know, if it's only a couple dollars for a miniature or $5 a month to get like 30 miniatures from an artist, you know, that's, you know, once their work is done, it's on the web forever, and they can make money off of it forever. And for me, that's so cheap that, you know, it's like, you know, I'd pay more for a cup of coffee, you know, than 30 miniatures from an artist, you know. And rather than trying to pirate it off the internet or anything like that, you know, it's like, who cares? It's $5, you know. But when you're talking about games that are like $100, $200, you know, $500, like, no, it's unsustainable. And so we as gamers that don't make that much money, we have to figure out ways to get around the system and get that hobby itch scratched without having to deal with such high prices now. So let's talk about downgrading your Games Workshop's collection. What I mean is, take your old codexes and stick to your old codexes. There is rumor that 10th edition is coming out, and they're not even done releasing, and they won't be done releasing codexes for 8th edition. I'm sure they've already got 10th edition stuff ready at the printers right now. It sucks because like it took me so long to collect enough stuff for 8th edition, let alone 9th edition, and now they're going to 10th edition. Now, yes, it's been 3 years, but it takes years for your average gamer to make their collection the way they want it. Thank God, the models are still usable. Well, why don't we just go back to older editions? Because at this point, Games Workshop's not going to stop printing this crap, and they're just going to keep making new editions because they're treating this like these new, patches for a video game, which it's not a video game. And they're using the video game selling model for physical product, and it's ridiculous. So what I think we should do is, if you have an edition of Warhammer 40k that you like, such as 8th edition or 9th edition or even 2nd edition, just collect those books. And you know what? I'm going to collect all the codexes from 8th edition, just like I collected all the codexes for 2nd edition. Those are 2 editions of the game that I thought were really fun. And I'm just going to get all the books because they're on clearance right now and they're cheap. And it's a lot cheaper than buying all the brand new stuff, It's kind of like when when a new like video game system comes out, it's always good to wait a year because, by that time all of the bugs will be fixed and all the patches will be released and the price will come down. And, just like an expired game, the prices do come down. Now, games don't expire like cheese. Like my 2nd edition books are perfectly fine. They're ready to be played on the tabletop right now. The only difference is that if I want to get somebody to play this with me, I'll have to find an old timer like myself to play the hobby with, or somebody who wants to try out 2nd edition. If I want to do the competitive scene, yes, I'm going to probably have to have the latest updated greatest book out there for my army. And I'll probably, when 10th edition drops, I'll probably get the Tyranid Codex because that's my army, that's my favorite thing. But all the other codexes, I think I'm going to wait until 11th edition if I ever want to buy any more 10th edition stuff once that finally comes out. We just can't keep up with this company. They just release too much. And if you like all the armies like I do, if you like all the lore and all the miniatures, you're going to be forced into 3D printing and buying older stuff because it's just the price isn't affordable. So, and it's okay. An expired game is never expired as long as you have it on your shelf and can play it. So I don't think it's a bad idea to buy older stuff. And, you can try different systems out there as well. I've experimented with other game systems and they're a lot of fun. And in fact, I can use models from different games to stand in for models for other games. So like with the my print of the day, we have our Papsikles Exterminator. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to print a bunch of these guys up and I'm going to try to make my own Necron army using all the models from Papsikles because I think these make great Terminators that I can use on the tabletop, and just use the rules for Warhammer 40k because it is a fun system to play. And I'm just going to use 8th edition or 9th edition. I don't know which yet. I'm going to get one of the... I might just get the 8th edition codex because it'll be cheaper. But yeah, so yeah, I'm not really a big fan of the Necrons as themselves because, Egyptian robots, I think it's really cool. They did a really cool aesthetic design, but I want something more like the James Cameron robots. So I'm going to stick with that design and just make my own metal robot army that way. And then, I could probably use my Predators and my Aliens and have those substituted in for some other armies. Like, the Predator would be a good replacement to the Imperial Assassin. I could do like an Imperial army using Predators. In fact, Papsikles released these really bulky Predators. I could just use the rules for Terminators and use these guys, and just, use my Space Marine Codex and use it for my Predator army. And of course, Tyranids could be my Aliens army, here's the Xeno Dragon from Archon Games. Yeah, there's my flying Tyranid, Hive Tyrant. See, about the same size. So why not? Why not use other miniatures for your game? Who cares? It's all about customization, anyways, right? And when it comes down to it, let's just customize our armies the way that we want, make it look the way that we want. And you know what? People are going to double take when they look at your Tyranid army, and they're like, "Are those xenomorphs?" I'm like, "Yes, sir. Those are my xenomorphs, and these are going to stand in for my Tyranids." And who cares? It looks awesome on the tabletop. Well, that's what I think. What do you think? I hope you have a lot of fun, and remember, this time it's wargaming. Have a great day.